Good day, sir. My name is David Ajijula from CSC 2022 and this is my CSC 202 stroke 208 lab report. So, this is my question 5. I'm to use NumPy to compute element-wise product of two arrays representing its capacity and temperature rise. So, I'm using Python Tony IDE. So, all I just have to do for this is to import NumPy as NP, then define my two lists, then um, to carry out element-wise operation on these two lists, I just have to multiply them since I'm doing a multiplication operation. So for it to be element-wise, of course, the two lists has to be of the same length, or else there will be an error. And the reason why there was this error at first was because by default, NumPy does not Tony ID does not come with NumPy as part of the default packages. So I had to reconfigure that, and of course, it worked here. So and this is my flip chart. So I start the program, then import NumPy, then I allow the user to enter the heat capacity. Okay, for this, the user will be the one defining the list themselves. But then if I'm to do this, I'll need to put like int, because the two lists that the two arrays that the user will be defining themselves must be of the same length. Then this is the what is the operation being carried out, and this is the product. This is the algorithm. And what interests me most about this is discovering how NumPy simplify complex operation into single line. It took me about 30 minutes to write this because of I had to look for a way for the NumPy to work, so it took me some times. So the most challenging part was, of course, enabling NumPy in Tony ID, which was the trickiest past experience. After installation, execution was smooth. The output printed cleanly, confirming that the element-wise product works correctly. This lab work demonstrated how powerful libraries can make code both readable and more efficient. Of course, using NumPy here makes the work very easy, clean, and more efficient. If I'm not to use NumPy, I would have used something like first for loop over the first list, then inside the for loop of the first list, I have to nest I have to nest another for loop of the second list, which of course might not won't look clean. So this is lab 6, and to sort list of integers in descending order and print the results. So I just defined the list numbers, then use the sorted function. This is by default in Python. So this sorted function, what you do is to take in a list and sort it in ascending order. So since I'm to do it in descending order, so I have to reverse this ascending order as we've done here. So I use the slicing algorithm here. So since there is no number here, that means it's going to start from the very first element, that is the sorted one now. That will be from the list, then there is no stop. That is going to go to the end. Then this third one is the step, that is, so this minus one means it's going to reverse the order. And I'm going to print out my numbers. So as you can see in the output here, so from this it takes in this and sorts it out, then reverse it. So I start the program, enter the list, then sort the list, reverse the list through slicing, then print the reversed list. So this is all my algorithm, just like in the flowchart. So what interested me, I appreciate how simple it is to reverse and sort the lists in one line using Python slicing. It is concise and elegant. It makes the code feel clean and powerful. It took me just about 10 minutes to write this, and I had to test it and ensure it's printed correctly. So the part that was quite challenging was the slicing part, where I had to test with different values. Like it's somehow, should I say, I forget that the part that here, like you have the start, the stop, and the range. So that was I was trying. That's I was just trying to work my way around that part. So it was a bit confusing at first, especially figuring out where it starts and stop, and how the negative step interacts with the list slice. So personal experience, once I got the slicing right, the program ran smoothly. The lists the list reversed and printed correctly. Impression of the question overall, it wasn't hard. The logic is straightforward and slicing really, so it wasn't really hard, just like the first one. Thank you very much, sir.